This is Jonathan Agarth here for Pro Boxing Fans, joined by one of the most knowledgeable people in boxing, Gary Logan. Gary, it's good to see you. Big fight for Deion Jumah against Richard Riakporhe.
Yeah.
This is a fight you guys have always wanted.
Yeah, we've always wanted these big fights. Whoever came against the top guys in the cruiserweight division. Deion's been frustrated with his license being, obviously, first fight Bin and Smith, we lost that, and then he lost his license over eye concerns, but that's all been rectified. He's got his license back, he's ready to go, he wants to take what's his, For a long time ago, since 2013, I watched this guy in the amateurs. I always thought he'd be a really successful pro, and I'd just be honoured if he does it with me, when he does it with me.
I wanted to sort of touch on sort of Deion's absence, obviously nothing out of his control, but could you just sort of explain to the fans who don't know what sort of has been going on the last year or so?
Yeah, the last year or so, he was getting ready for Bill Smith, suffered an eye injury, and then from then, with all of the medical procedures that he had to go through, then the board then didn't see fit to license him, and then he had to actually get the actual the top men on board to basically say, he's good to go, these eyes stronger than ever. Obviously the board, being the board, they've got to protect themselves, but we knew, and I knew, that I would never let Deion risk his eyes if he wasn't strong enough to, and he was, and it's been a real long period of frustration where we've seen the Riakporhes and the Okolis, guys that he truly believes he can beat, get where they got, and he doesn't resent them for it, but he just resents the situation. So it's been a frustrating time, but his time is now. This fight has come quite last minute for us, but we were preparing for someone quite similar in stature to Richard Riakporhe, and in Loire, who's then pulled out. Richard's lost his opponent, so why not make the fight that Deion really wants?
I know that certain things must stay in private, and I don't want to push you on certain things, but I will ask if you're able to comment on sort of how the injury actually first came about.
I don't really want to.
Sure.
These things happen. These things happen, and this is a risk industry where injuries such as eye injuries are going to happen. Thankfully, we're in a period of we're at the forefront of medical science, whereby someone like, we've got precedents. Abner has had 2 detached retinas post his first world title win, and then went on to win 2 titles in 2 next weight divisions. So, and Sugar Ray Leonard obviously was the most high-profile one. Retired because of a detached retina, came back and in his first fight beat Marvin Hagler. So, there's precedent there to say that if the eye is strong enough, you can go.
Excellent. Obviously, when you beat Sam Hyde, Richard Riakporhe, the British title, and you wanted the fight then, how does it feel to have this fight now just 2 weeks away or so?
Gosh, it feels. I'm just happy that Deion's happy. Do you know what I mean? I'm happy that we just went for a quick meal, and he just sat there and he said, "This is where I belong. I'm so happy to be here. This is where I've always wanted to be." And it's not like stars in headlights. He said it very matter-of-factly, said it very calmly, and I just knew that he's more than ready for the adjustments that have to be made for Richard.
Now, that Sam Hyde fight was one of the best small
not televised. That fight should have been bought and shown on national TV. It was a great fight. It was a coming-of-age fight for both of them, I think. I mean, Sam was tried and tested, but Deion hadn't been, and you'd have thought going in that Sam might, outlast him, but Deion weren't letting it happen, man. He dug in. It was the last 4 rounds were tremendous.
Yeah, and that was a war. Can we expect that type of fight against Riakporhe or something different?
I think Deion wants to do a little bit of both. He's got the capabilities to do both. And we're not going to give away the game plan, but what we think we have in Deion's tank is good enough to win. So we're looking for you. Don't worry, you'll be excited.
And in terms of sort of other people you're working with, who else have you got in your books at the moment?
I've still got Dean Richardson, former Southern Area undefeated super welterweight champion. He's signed with MTK, so we're looking to move him on very soon to the English title. He'll have he's got his comeback first bout in 2 years in April. He'll have one more before the end of the season, I would imagine, and then next season we'll crack on with getting hold of that English super welterweight title, and then we move him on because he's sparring with the likes of Abbas Barou, and he's competing very well with these guys, and these are the guys I send him to spar with because in order to get better now, he's got to spar with better guys, so he's got to push himself. Hard punching south, another hard punching southpaw that I've got, and so I'm looking forward to seeing Dino's story sort of play out.
And
I've got Nick Parper as well. Sorry,
okay.
Just started work with Nick Parper, former Southern Era cruiserweight champion, and we've got him on with our S&C team, and we'll be pushing on to getting him a couple of bouts for the end of the season, and then he'll start pushing back on for the English cruiserweight title at some point next season.
I'm guessing that'll be good sparring between him and
Yeah. I mean, they haven't sparred for this one, obviously, because Nick's a lot more smaller in height, so we needed tall guys, of which we found them, thankfully. They've given Deion good prep. He's got one more week of technical work with him, and then we're good to go. But Nick's good man to have around the camp. Works hard, wants to do well. He's got a lot to learn. And but he's a willing student, so that's what you can ask for as a coach.
I know. Just whilst I have you, Gary, just two fights. Just want to get your opinion on coming up. April 23rd, Tyson Fury against Dillian Whyte at Wembley. How do you see that fight playing out?
I have to go Fury. But if there's anyone that could potentially offset him, if the game plan's right, Dillian's got really long arms, and if he uses them with a quality jab and doesn't go for Fury's head at the start, just keeps hitting him around the chest, keeps hitting him around the body, just offsetting his work. Kind of like if you watch Ken Norton against Muhammad Ali, Eddie Futch made sure that Ken didn't really try to punch up anywhere other than Ali's upper chest, and if his face actually ran into a jab, then it landed. But nevertheless, it kept Ali off balance, and because Ali doesn't like guys jabbing up at him. Much taller fighters don't like guys jabbing up at them. Dillian's got long arms, and if he can use that to get in range, then maybe he can land his bombs. But ultimately, I truly believe, unless there's a real shot, that his hands are just too quick for him. But I have said it, if he does come in with the attitude of having a war with Dillian that he had with Wilder in the last fight, he could end up on his backside with that one.
I mean, would that seemingly suit Dillian more if that was to happen, rather than if Tyson Fury
can't beat him. Dillian can't beat. I don't think he can beat Tyson in a boxing contest. He's got to get up close, land those body shots, do that damage, all the while offsetting him with a jab that doesn't necessarily have to land to the head. Just needs to land somewhere to keep him off balance. A hard 17.5 stone jab in your chest regularly is not a nice shot, So he's got to be cute. He's got to be cute about this.
And Tyson said that if he wins the fight, he'll retire.
Yeah.
Do you see that, or do you think maybe he'll be tempted for another fight?
Yeah, Jesus. I mean, does he really feel good retiring after not having faced Joshua in an all-great British battle, and also not facing Usyk to become undisputed champion? That's a great story in itself. We hope that Usyk does return soon and safe. So, I mean, the Tyson Furies, I still believe the story still has to play out. But you never know, he might shock us and walk away. You never know.
Gary, great to catch up with you, and best of luck on March 26th.
Yeah, thank you.